to get high quality graphic design clients. So if you're here today, you're a graphic designer, maybe you're a freelancer, maybe you work for somebody else, and you're wondering how you can get sort of high quality clients on a more regular and consistent basis. So my goal is to help you understand the exact steps to getting new high quality clients as a graphic designer, even if you don't have a large portfolio or website and have no idea where to start. That's okay. And if you stay until the end of this webinar, I've got a very special gift for you as a thank you for joining me and watching today. So let me introduce myself. So, hey, I'm Claire. I have a bachelor honours in graphic design, which I got 10 years ago. And I've also been a user experience and UI designer for over 10 years too. I won Young Entrepreneur Finalist Award, which is the EVA Awards across the Northwest in the UK. I'm an award-winning UX strategist and predominantly known as the Queen of Simplicity. Like to keep things super, super simple. No need to overcomplicate anything at all. And I work with many well-known brands such as Jet2, Selfridges, Matalan, Benson's for Beds, and the government. And I want to show you how you can do this too quite easily. So I'm just going to start off by showing you some of my work. Now, I don't profess to be the most amazing designer in the world, but I'm not also the worst. I feel I'm probably an average designer and I'm still making 6 figures a month. So I want to show you that no matter where you're at in your sort of career, whether or not you just come out of uni or whether you've been established designer for some time, wherever you're at, there is always clients out there who are ready to hire you, Here is some more work that I've done before, some illustrations. I've got quite a mixed sort of skill set. I've done some work for Jet2 on their mobile application, Harvey's Furniture on their finance and payment section. I've also worked with Selfridges and their team, done a lot of training with them as well. But you know what? I'm nothing special. I'm actually just very ordinary. I love my food. Actually, probably a little bit too much. At the moment, I am 32 weeks pregnant and gained about 2.5 stone with the baby. So I've indulged a little bit too much, but I've got my little doggies there, Milo and Charlie. And one main reason why I want to be successful and I'm on my own sort of path is mainly for my sister, which you can see in this picture here. So my sister has a condition called Williams syndrome, which is a rare genetic disorder. And I know in time, once my parents pass, then I'm going to have the responsibility of caring for her. And I've got dreams. I've got, I want her to have her own sort of annex in my back garden, that sort of setting. So everything we do, we always do for a reason. And I'm sure you yourself have got your own sort of goals as to why you want to kind of get more clients, just like I have as well. Ooh. Okay. So yeah, I've helped and inspired over 1,000 designers with their monthly income. I've helped designers have more time in their day so they can focus on stuff that's important to them, like family and hobbies. And I've also built my own business to 6 figures so I can take time out of work to be with family and still make money, which is even more crucial, I think, when it comes to things like maternity. As being self-employed, most people would say, if I don't work, I don't get paid. And there are ways around that. And you can still make an income and you can still be very successful and make very good profit each year and not have to work, 8 to 10 hours a day or all through the night. That's just what I did a lot when I was at uni and in my early days until I learned better. So yeah, I've got a lot of things wrong. And 10 years ago, so I spent the first few years of my business working ridiculous hours. All through the night. Honestly, I'd be on Red Bull 3 hours trying to get things submitted. And even for clients, when I started in my early days doing freelance work, I always felt it's like a pressure. It was too much to do. And I was stressed and I wasn't earning what I wanted to. I spent every penny I had on advertising and didn't make a sale. And that's what most of us do. We kind of think, well, I put myself in articles in local magazines and things like that. Tried Facebook advertising, done pretty much everything to try and get myself out there. And I kept sharing my design portfolio and didn't get any work. And it seemed more like luck than a strategy. And I also realized I wasn't the best designer. So my self-belief was at rock bottom. What I realized, there was one thing I was majorly getting wrong, and this is what I now see with all graphic designers. And this is why I'm doing this, because I want to share my knowledge that I've gained over the past 10 years and to help you achieve what I'm achieving now. But I discovered this the hard way, and you can learn the easy way in this webinar. So what is the hard way? So trying to sell your services, your graphic design services on social media by posting your work daily or paying for advertising on social media is a game of pot luck and is extremely hard, let alone competitive. And one minute you feel like your business is booming and the next you're trying to make ends meet again. And I don't know if you kind of relate to that. I was always sort of the person who would 1 minute feel like, oh, I can relax now. I've got that client, they pay me X amount of pounds. I can pay my bills and afford to buy X, Y, and Z. And then the next month, I'd feel this pressure inside again. And you are almost like a pressure cooker. And everybody sort of has their sort of limit, don't they? And you know what? It got to a point where I thought enough's enough. But I was spending money on advertising. And most people do this when they haven't sold their product organically first. It's just a waste of money. Organically sort of means basically without using any adverts, basically doing all the mundane work yourself, manual work, going out there and actually seeing what works and what doesn't. Some people spend months creating a website or a sales funnel, fancy PDF portfolios or any other resource, and it's just really a waste of time. Spending hours each day on social media posting your work is also a waste of time, and it's also not a consistent sales approach. Waiting to see if past clients are going to refer you is unpredictable, inconsistent, and again, a waste of time. So we rely on things that seem like the norm to do, but necessarily don't always bring results. And what I'm talking about here is the consistent results part. And that means it's predictable. Every month, you know how many clients you're going to get and how much you're going to earn. So spending hours connecting with loads of potential users on social media, this is also a waste of time. I see so many people trying to connect with other people in hope that they become their next client. And the more and more people are doing it now, the more and more skeptical people are becoming. Writing blog posts and creating tons of content that you actually don't have time to be doing is helpful, but only when you're generating a profitable income. So if you're not making enough money to be able to outsource that task, and it feels like you're writing blogs but not making money, or writing blogs but you're having to squeeze it in to the already sort of really sort of small time frame that you have each day, then it's not worth your time doing that either. creating a podcast, YouTube channel, yeah, it's beneficial, but again, only if you're generating that income and you have the time to do it and you can outsource some of the tasks. Like if now I was to create a YouTube video, I would outsource the task of someone creating the artwork for me, actually putting the video together, because I'm already in that place where I can do that. But if you're not, and you're not generating that income, all of these things, which typically people would start to do if they want to generate more clients, is actually just a waste of time. But now, bear with me, because when I say a waste of time, what I actually mean is it brings no consistency and it's not a proper strategy. And if you're not careful with the amount of competition in the graphic design field, you could end up back in your 9-to-5 job with no additional income. And it's a little bit like a game of roulette. So unless you understand the strategy behind it, you're just going to waste time and money. And not to mention spreading yourself too thin, which is another way to hinder your success very quickly. You'll become tired, stressed, and mentally exhausted. I'm not sure if you already feel like that or feel like actually what you're doing is going to manifest itself in that way if you keep on going with what you're doing at the moment. So, do you want my easy solution to this? Okay, so if you spend 30 minutes a day on social media, you can get around 50 leads per day using the traffic takeoff method, which is the method that I've created. And you might actually be thinking, whoa, hold on, that 50 leads is far too many. And I only need one per week or month. And that's okay. If that's you, this is even easier for you. So I personally only need 1 to 2 clients per month. So I would typically spend around 2 to 4 hours per month using social media. So the strategy I've created, that's how many leads can be produced, and then you can adapt it depending on if you want more, if you want less, and obviously the time then sort of would fluctuate, and it would be much less if you only required 1 or 2 a week, 1 or 2 a month. Sound interesting? Are you guilty of this? So most graphic designers will find someone who may need help. They send them their portfolio straight away and give them a rough price. We're all guilty of it in the past, but this is the wrong way to do it. My approach is somewhat controversial and many people are not teaching this. And this is why most people are feeling stuck and getting no clients. So most people spend months creating fancy websites, portfolios, social media posts, sales funnels, blogs, resources for all the graphic design services. And to realize after all that hard work, clients still aren't flowing, or it's very inconsistent. And you must be wondering, what is it you're doing so wrong about doing this? I used to do that in the past, spend months and months and months creating a really fancy portfolio website. And I was just doing it based off everything that I thought was the right thing to do. But here's the thing. So most people, when they design their portfolios or create content on social media, they do this based upon what they think their clients want to see. This is really important. Take note of this. So they'll go, I have an idea, they say, and then they go and create it. 99% of graphic designers who I've spoken to are working based upon assumption. So they come up with an idea, spend weeks and months creating things, make it look pretty, and still can't get clients. And I'd call this high risk. I think it leads to inconsistent client jobs, and it's unpredictable, and it'll just bring you a low revenue. So how can you operate at low risk and get similar results to myself? So the traffic takeoff method, it's 95% theory and 5% strategy. I do believe knowledge is power, especially with this approach. And without that theory, you won't be able to implement that strategy. So a lot of people like to skip the theory part and say, just hand me the strategy and I can run with it. And I've seen so many people who've actually downloaded the course as well. And I can see, which modules they have completed. They go straight to the strategy part and then say, Claire, I don't get results. Okay. And it's because you really do need this theory, this knowledge before you start implementing that strategy. So the 95% theory is predominantly understanding your target audience inside out. And I don't just mean demographics or geographics or just psychographics. We go in real in-depth detail to really know who your user types are, who your personas are, and really understanding them and what makes them tick. Because when you do that, you're no longer working on assumption, you're working on evidence, and you can validate that evidence as well. So not only should you be able to research, but within that you would be user testing as well, because even research alone doesn't actually give us enough knowledge, because a lot of the time research can just give us things like statistics. But statistics alone don't give you insights into your user behaviors or the way people think, and unless we start talking to people and really understanding who we want to target, we're never going to get that information. And that 5% strategy is basically we hook them in and we use a certain protocol, which is based around psychology. And this is what I've been refining for 10 years. So a lot of people will say, do this, and basically you'll start to generate leads. And that's why a lot of people think they can just go straight to the strategy. But you need that 95% chunk to be able to implement that strategy and get results straight away. So almost immediately. But however, not everyone will get the same results as me, because most people, as I say, rush through the theory side of stuff because they are simply impatient. And I get it, because I've been there. I've been super impatient myself, and it took me 10 years. As I said, I've done it the hard way. I'm actually telling you now, you don't have to do it that way anymore. And I'm also not guaranteeing you will get the same results as myself, as you may need some help with this. But what I can say is that what I'm sharing with you today brings me extraordinary results, and that is why I'm sharing it with you. So many people are following the basic principles for lead generation to their graphic design business. And this is why the majority of people fail. So it depends. Do you want to be in that majority bubble and do what everybody else is teaching online, which for me is just, I think because I'm not a marketer, I'm actually a designer. I can see it from a completely different aspects. Most people who you'll join on these webinars, you'll be speaking to marketers. I'm not a marketer, I'm a designer. And I'm a designer that has had to find my own clients. A lot of people who do the webinars in the past, they're marketers and they're just literally just wanting to make money, and they don't really know the field that well. And this is the other way around. So what I've kind of come up with is trying to work out a strategy that actually works predictably, but it's actually what the minority of people are doing. So you probably won't find anybody who's doing graphic design who is following this process unless they've actually worked with me in the past. And that's why a lot of people get a little bit frustrated and don't get results. Okay, so to be successful with lead generation, that's not me, by the way. But you need to follow what the minority of people are doing to achieve success. So people who are open-minded to try controversial new approaches are the ones who end up overtaking the rest, because they're not afraid to try new things and push outside their comfort zone. So what are the 3 secrets to generating leads, graphic design leads? Well, secret number 1 is how to generate high quality clients with just one item in your portfolio and no website. I know it sounds hard to believe, but it works. Secret number 2 is how to attract high quality clients without having to create any social media content. And secret number 3 is how to be successful at graphic design and win clients, even if you have no social media presence at all. They sound impossible, but I've proven this strategy works over the past 10 years. So secret number 1, okay, how to generate high quality clients with just one item in your portfolio and no website. So it does seem kind of backwards to approach customers with no website needed and only one item in your portfolio. Well, why? Well, every niche has different needs, and I advise you to pick a niche, and rather than guessing what your client wants to see and sharing irrelevant stuff, you would send them your portfolio, your case studies based upon what they actually want to see. It's a massive difference. Stop sharing your portfolio with clients and just saying, here's my portfolio, and it's full of irrelevant stuff. It's not targeted to their problem that they're trying to solve. And we need to stop guessing and assuming and start working with real evidence. We need to talk to them first. We need to really understand what their problems are, what their needs are before we actually share our portfolio. Okay, and the first time that I did this, I had 85 leads land in my inbox on Facebook. I had no website, and at this point I had no portfolio. It's just in like sort of bits everywhere, and they landed in my inbox asking me, Claire, how can I achieve this and how much will it cost? So when you do this within the strategy, I teach you how to hook these clients in, and people land in your inbox then. Now, when you actually do this approach, you don't need to have everything in place at that point. You don't need to worry about what your portfolio is going to look like, anything like that. You just need to try and understand what it is these people want first from you. And it enabled me to chat with them further to find out their exact needs first. So what I was doing was essentially market research with people who are ready to buy my services. So the tip here, line up your buyers first and then find out what it is they want before you put anything in front of them. Don't put your portfolio in front of them until you really understand what it is they're looking for. So 90% of the 85 leads were asking to see my portfolio. You know, you might have put a post out before, or you might have commented on something and people have said, oh yeah, send me your portfolio, and you just send it to them. But that's not the way to do it. The important part is when I dug deeper, they were actually wanting to see my thought processes and strategy behind the niche I was working in at the time. So we narrowed it down, and I got this information by a simple conversation. So most graphic designers don't undertake any research to learn about their market, and they always end up sending a portfolio of random stuff completely irrelevant to what the client is looking for. So another tip, the first time you ever follow my strategy to generate leads, you're researching and learning about what your client needs are, what their challenges are. You are not selling your services straight away. Do never, ever, ever try to sell straight away, because it just won't work. So now most of you would work the other way around. You would likely spend months creating your portfolio first, and not to mention the amount of sleepless nights and time and cost this involves and stress. So imagine doing this and then realizing it's now not what your audience want, or even worse, you're just getting no sales from doing that. So don't keep doing what you've always done. You've got to try something new. So less than 2% of graphic designers that I spoke to, they don't have a research or feedback strategy, which is key to generating clients. So if you don't understand what your market is and their needs are, how can you give them what they want? We've got to really stop guessing, and we've got to start learning. And this is just a small part of the strategy. On LinkedIn, I use a hook to generate the connections, but then I would use an outreach strategy to convert connections into clients. So on LinkedIn, 64 connection requests within 24 hours. And you can see on my LinkedIn as well, if you go to my LinkedIn, I don't post much on, is it the Pulse? See, don't even really know what it is. And basically, you don't need to, unless you actually, now I start to generate a bit more content, maybe I think it's two blogs per month, because I have somebody who does that for me. But prior to this, it was not something that I ever really did, because it's not needed. You don't need to have any followers, any connections, anything like that to start generating leads. But remember, 60% of businesses fail. And one of the reasons is they don't value research or data. To become an expert at generating high quality clients, you need to understand how to use data and research to your advantage. So let's take Pepsi and Coca-Cola. So when these brands launched, do you think they just created the drink, paid millions to produce it, and then hoped they would generate sales? They just kind of came up with the idea, didn't speak to anyone about it, put it out there. You'd probably think they were crazy if they did this. And actually, they undertook research, they understood their customer, and they got the feedback first. So if you were to open up a restaurant or anything like that, and you just kind of came up with the concept yourself, came up with the food yourself and put it out there, that's so high risk. How do you know people are going to like it? But what if I told you Pepsi had never tried Coca-Cola drink before they launched their Pepsi product? You would also think that's crazy. But how many of you have tried your competitors' products or services? And I would say very, very little. Secret 2, how to attract high quality clients without having to create any social media content. When you're generating leads, you want them to come to you. That is when you're seen as the expert and not as the salesperson. This is the rule of thumb for Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Always get them to land in your inbox. LinkedIn is different, very different. You can do an outreach strategy on LinkedIn, but there's a lot of psychology behind it, as most messaging templates don't work. So there's loads of people out there saying you should do X, Y, and Z and connect with people and message them this. And honestly, a lot of them are a complete waste of time. As I said, I've been refining the strategy for 10 years. And over the past 10 years, since getting my BA in graphic design, I've been testing these strategies and refining them to get results. So it's very results-driven strategy. So you may think the best way to do this is to post tons of social media content out there, create pretty looking artwork and hope people will see it and share it. While this can help you get clients, it's not a consistent strategy. And seriously, who has the time to create tons of content? I see people as just really beautiful graphic design, Instagram pages and Facebook posts and blogs. And I think, oh, and I've done a lot of research with them. And I said, but are you making money? And they're not really where they want to be. Put that on the back burner. Stop doing that. Get your clients first. And the best way to do this is by using what I call a hook. So this can be used in social media comments, in groups, and is designed to get people inboxing you. So one hook can get you around 50 plus leads for just a few minutes work, as I've shown you in my screenshots above. And with the actual hook, the hook is the 5% strategy part, but you can't do the hook without understanding the theory behind everything that we're trying to achieve here. So a hook has a certain protocol to it. So you can't just write anything and expect clients to land in your inbox. So you might say, well, I've added comments on groups before and nobody comes to me. Remember, I mentioned it's about applying the correct psychology behind it, and it needs to be considered, be targeted correctly, and also needs to undergo testing first. So there's 3 stages to your hook. And just like a fisherman knows where to get bait, you can hook clients in rapidly using this method. How to be successful at graphic design and win clients, even if you have no social media presence. So many people believe that they need a good, strong connection list before you can generate leads. So spend months building up a following, creating content, and being super active in Facebook groups or on Instagram. When you are generating leads and making your desirable income, I then recommend doing this, but not at all before. Why? Because you're wasting time. It's not essential to have authority to generate leads. Yes, I said it. Honestly, if you go to my social profiles, you'll see my inactivity, inconsistency. I do some of it now because I can pay people to do it, but it's so inconsistent still. It's not a proper strategy. Even in my groups, I don't post a lot, and I'm still generating 6 figures. So you don't need to have or do any of these things to get clients. In my business, the majority of my leads for this come by Facebook for smaller clients and LinkedIn for the big brands. It depends who you want to work with. So if you want to work with small brands, you should use Facebook, small companies, LinkedIn. You can find so many amazing brands out there that you can use the outreach strategy for. Facebook, you can hook people in. Getting people coming into your inbox. And as I've said, when I started out, never posted a thing, and now I'm making 6 figures. I have someone who posts twice a month for me to establish authority. It's nice to have a following and can help get sales over the line when someone is uncertain. They might want to check out your social media, do a bit of snooping. But it's not essential. And when you're starting out in your business, you'd only be focusing on the essential stuff because resources are limited. And I've proven this. And what's essential to your business is getting clients, lining your buyers up, understanding your market, selling to them, growing your business, and then doing these things. So I decided I wanted to work in the travel and tourism niche. So I chose my niche and I wanted to work with bigger brands. My first project, I landed with a well-known airline in the UK and made £22,575 on my first project with zero expertise. I had 0 testimonials. I had no following. They didn't even see my portfolio. It just had so many random bits in it. I didn't even share that with them before the first phone call conversation. I would always get on the phone with them first, especially for big clients. So why did they choose to work with me? You know, if they saw nothing, you're probably thinking, well, why would they work with you? I don't understand. So like I've mentioned previously, understanding what your users and clients want first is more important than sending them what you think they want. So we spoke on email and phone. I understood their challenges and frustrations. I asked them what they needed to see from me in order for me to win this job. So I didn't make assumptions and send them something they weren't looking for. I spent 2 hours putting together exactly what they needed. That was it. And I won the job on a 0 contract to prove my worth to them. So basically, you're understanding your audience, your persona, but I targeted them correctly as well. So I didn't just go for any company. I targeted them. I then already understood the market, the user persona. I got to then go deeper, understand those challenges and frustrations. I asked them, what do you need to see? Honestly, it's so much easier. They say, well, what we're really looking for, Claire, is we're looking to see somebody who can produce X, Y, and Z, somebody who can show me their process along the way. I actually want to see sketches. I don't just want to see the finished product, and I want to understand a bit about timescales that you worked on that project with, etc., etc. Wow, no longer am I guessing. I can now actually create all that and send it to them. So this part is conversion. So within the strategy, I show you how to convert those people. So first of all, you're going to need the leads. But once you've got those leads, you then need to be able to convert those leads easily. And this is an example how I converted it very successfully and made very good money from it. And this is what your customers want to feel. They want to feel like you can get them from A to be and get results. They want you to empathize with their feelings and their challenges. They want good rapport with you, and most of all, they want to feel understood. Now, none of that I'm sharing with you do they actually want to see or care about how you get them from A to B, how many projects you've worked on, what awards you've won, what degree you've got. Honestly, they don't care how many followers you have, what your brochure looks like, how fancy your website is. If you can actually follow those things above and really understand them, when somebody feels understood, you have great success. They only want to know if you can help them get to their desired goal. What path you take is completely irrelevant if you can get them a result. So by sharing with them, oh, I'm going to work on Photoshop, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z, and you're talking about your process. Most people don't care about process. Some do, majority don't. So let me introduce Alex. So Alex had no followers, no website, no portfolio. He just followed this simple traffic takeoff strategy. But most importantly, he spent his time understanding the customer and data. So as I said before, it's 95% theory, 5% strategy, which is your hook. And I believe you need the knowledge to have the power to dominate the market. And within just a few days, he had a call booked in with a really big brand. And I've got another one of his testimonials a little bit later on as well. You have likely been here before with many people telling you the best solution to generating leads. It's likely if you're watching this webinar, you haven't achieved the results you're looking for. And are you going to do what you've always done to get the same results, which is no sales? Or are you going to try something new that will help you achieve leads without spending a penny on ads, without having to post on social media each day or guessing what your clients want? So in the past 30 minutes, would you agree that it's been time well spent? Would you agree you understand the basic principle of what you need to get to know to get new clients? In this webinar, it's absolutely impossible for me to cover everything, which is why I'm going to give you a special offer so you can learn the full traffic takeoff strategy and start to work with high quality clients. So it's not just about generating the leads, it's about converting those leads into paying clients and bringing you consistent income every month. Old habits die hard. So if you keep doing what you've always done, are you just going to go back and just, I'll just close the computer today and I'll just continue getting the same results I've got? Are you ready to change that now to create the business you deserve? Or are you going to continue to generate the income that you've got and have that frustration and that pressure every single day? And you'll be thrilled because I've got an amazing offer for you that will give you the solution to finding high quality clients and getting them on demand to your graphic design business. So my method usually takes around 30 days to learn, but you can go at your own pace, and then up to 30 minutes per day to implement. Again, depending on how many leads you want. So, if you need much less, you might only spend 10 minutes a day. You might only spend 30 minutes per week. You will find that balance which works for you, because some people actually say, no, I want to go for it, we want 50 leads because we're just churning out loads of logo designs for people, we can do 10 a day. And other people say, no, actually I really want to invest my time in working with high quality big brands. I want to only work on one project. I want to work on that project for a few months. Everybody's got a different sort of goal, and this strategy can adapt to that goal. So this is the traffic takeoff online course. 30 minutes per day average would get you 50 leads, and it's for complete beginners who don't even know where to start. You don't need an email list or social media following. You don't need a fancy website or landing page. It will work for Facebook, LinkedIn, or Instagram if any of those platforms are of interest to you. It's 95% theory, 5% strategy, and you can work at your own pace and complete it in your own time. I'm just going to go through now what each of the modules cover. So it's very transparent. So module 1 is all about laying down the foundations. So we want to look at what's holding you back and remove any bottlenecks so you can generate leads organically without having to spend any money on ads, and learn how to become an authority in your niche. And module 2 is discovering your audience, how to define your core offering, even if you have no idea what it is you want to do, or who your customers are, and we could create an irresistible offer. Module 3 is all about the research, so understanding your niche, how to attract high-grade customers who desperately need your services and will pay you for them. I'll teach you how to get to know your customers inside out. Module 4 is the sales psychology part. So top secret hacks. So no other gurus are sort of teaching to be able to convert customers like hotcakes. It's all about pricing psychology, understanding psychological triggers that get people to buy. And there's so many golden nuggets in that module. Module 5 is about prospecting. So we want to sort of like pre-qualify your lead. You don't just want to chat to everybody and everybody because you haven't got time to do that in your day. You want to ensure that the people that you do end up speaking to are the people who actually want to buy from you. And it's a mixture. Sometimes we get them on the phone. Sometimes it's just a conversation over email or messenger, depending on which approach that you take within the strategy and which platform you're using. Module 6, this is the actual strategy part. And I also give you insight into my messaging hacks as well, which I have been refining for over 10 years, which is what I've spoken to you about quite a few times. Module 7 is how to scale your business without any ads, without having to do anything. So if you want to then grow your business, you're starting to get that consistent income, but you now want to grow it, I can show you how to do that and bring in more leads, but without having to pay for it. Module 8 is about handling sales objections, which is absolutely key, because you have to become a bit of an expert in sales. But a disclaimer here, I am not a sales expert. I'm not a marketing expert. I've literally just found a strategy that works and I'm teaching other people. But you do have to know some basic stuff. Module 9 is some bonus items. So I've got literally give you access to my Trello board, which gives you like over 100 lead generation hacks, just some little things you can try out in your own time, once you actually have already started to generate some income. Okay, the total value of that is £20,979. And I had two choices. So first option was I sell this course super cheap and sell as many as possible. But then I thought that wouldn't really incentivize me to stack that value for you. Or the second option was it requires a little higher investment, but in exchange, I can provide more resources to you to guarantee your success. And here's some testimonials from people. So this is Alex here at the bottom again. So he actually had 25 people he signed up using the strategy, and he got them to pay £1,795 per month. And he created a really nice little business where he outsourced some of his work so that when he was not actually working, he could then still have an income coming in. So he was working on really great margins with that as well. So I think it was like a 30% cost to him and he kept 70%. He really great business setup there. Yeah, people who are sort of like booking in calls from the LinkedIn strategy straight away. Someone landed three clients. They were really happy, and that was out of 11 people that they approached. So really great conversion rate. But I'm going to give a bonus. So like the first people that sign up, they'll get a full portfolio video review from me as well, and just some little secret insights as well, which I can share with you. So this is everything when you stack up the value of what I can offer you, including the portfolio video review. And if all this course did was give you a minimum of 1 to 2 big clients per month, paying you a minimum of £5,000 each, would it be worth it? Or, if all it did was get you 2 to 5 new small clients per week, would it be worth it? If all it did was give you a strategy that takes no longer than 30 minutes per day to implement, would it be worth it? Or if all it did was give you a solution on how to approach high-end clients and win new work without a website or social presence, would it be worth it? If all it did was give you security to be able to pay your bills each month, would it be worth it? And what's that worth to you? £500, 1,000, 10,000, 25, more, less? How much would you be willing to pay to get predictable clients each month to your graphic design business? Just think about that. And you can see why each of my clients pay me £10,000 per month and over £500 per session one-to-one to achieve these results. Some of us spend £500 each month on meals out, trips to coffee shops, cinema trips, buying new clothes, furniture. But what do you get for that return on investment? A little bit of satisfaction for a very short period of time. I know what it's like, I buy myself a new pair of heels and I think, oh, great. And then they sit on the shelf. And I think that really I didn't invest that very well. But you seem to repeat that. You aren't getting any more clients from that investment. We need to start investing in our future to get the results that we're looking for. And you can see why at £2,997, the traffic takeoff online course would be worth it. There's a return on your investment. But the course retails at $997 to the general public. But because you are special and I genuinely want to see more graphic designers succeeding, I've actually lowered this cost. And you can get started on the traffic takeoff course for only $497. And all you have to do is you go to that URL and you use the code graphic497 at the checkout, and it's only available for the next 1 hour. And that promo code will then be removed. Now you have two choices. So first option, you can do nothing and keep worrying about where your next paying client is coming from and don't sign up to the course. Or the second option, you can see this online course as an investment that will help you achieve your goals. Do I offer a money back guarantee? Yes. So I offer a 14-day money back guarantee. So if you decide the course isn't for you, you will get your money back, no questions. But the real question, is it worth gambling a few minutes of your time to check this out? Which even if you do, even half of what has been said today, it will pay for itself. So other opportunities. There are other opportunities that will teach you how to get leads, but they aren't specific to your graphic design business. Remember, I'm a designer and I have a design background. So beware of marketers and other people who are kind of teaching lead generation strategies which aren't specific to graphic design, because obviously they haven't had the knowledge or the sort of hard sort of slog to actually understand what it is to make it work. And a lot of people are teaching old school methods which don't work, hence why you see so many people on these groups asking questions and still stuck making no real money. Also, you find a lot of marketers who are teaching lead generation strategies. But again, I actually own my own design business. I know what works and what doesn't. So here's a tale of two people. So George, who doesn't take calculated risks, earns an average wage and is constantly stressed, worrying if he will be able to afford his rent and worries he will end up in a 9-to-5 job. So do you sound like George? Are you George? Or are you Kelly, who takes calculated risks, earns an impressive wage each month and has a waiting list of clients ready to work with her, and she's flying? So get started now for only $497. Use the code graphic497 at the checkout and use this link below. So it's without the www dot, it's just http://leadgeneration.clearfreshening.com. And again, here is the value stack that you will get. There's 9 modules in total, and you also get the bonus video review. And remember, I'm nothing special. I really struggle for time and focusing. So I found a solution which only takes 30 minutes per day. You can do it, or you can outsource this part too. So now I outsource that part. And I've got no expertise or knowledge in sales or lead generation, and you really don't need it either. So I just found a method that works for designers and I've refined it, but I still managed to earn over £10,000 per client per month. And I didn't think I could do it, but with a little bit of determination, I have, and my clients are now doing it too. So there's people who've also achieved exactly the same stuff. So remember, money back guarantee, and you can get started today for only $497. This is a very special offer. It's not out there. You won't find this offer out there online. It's advertised online at $997, so you get in it for less than half price. So I hope you have enjoyed today, and I hope you have learned something from this webinar. It'd be really great to get your feedback. Please drop me an email, drop me a message on social media. And if you really do want to sign up and you really do want to make a difference, this code is going to be available for the next hour. And amazing that you want to make a difference to your future. So yeah, thank you so much for listening and taking the time, and have an amazing day. See you soon.